Hello, Pisces. Welcome. Ooh, Lord. Welcome and welcome back to Pisces Network, you guys. We're going to get into another reading. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying the readings and gaining something positive from them, helping you in your life. Thank you guys for being here. Okay? We're just going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, play it by ear. Okay. Oh, wow. That's a message. Play it by ear. You know, when people say play it by ear, they mean just like, roll with the punches, go with the flow. But I also thought just about when you, can play something by ear. That, like, when I was young, my grandmother had a piano, right? And because she played the organ, my grandmother played the organ and the piano, and she used to try to teach me, but I would play on the piano and just like play, right? I would just play songs, and what I would play was like songs that I heard on the radio. Like I would start with, of course, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, like that type of stuff as a young kid. But then as time went on, I would like play Destiny's Child songs and Aaliyah songs and Monica songs and songs that I would hear like on the radio, like whatever I was hearing on the radio, even like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, like those types of songs that were just like mainstream. I would play them by ear on the piano. And that's how I learned to sing too, was like imitating and copying the tone or accent of the person who was singing, and then like making my voice sound like them. And sometimes y'all say that, like when you hear people, what's the girl name? Isn't that Sade's song when she be like, "Oh my life, I want you, baby," like that. Like I would just copy them. I was trying to think of another one. And then I love this Monica song, Before You Walk Out My Life. And she'd be like, wait. Here we are face to face. And she'd be changing her voice. With the memories that can't be erased. And it sounds like me. But then she'll be like, although we need each other, things have changed. It's not the same. Sometimes it makes me wonder, where would I be? And everybody doesn't sing the same. And then you have like Whitney, and she has her own tone. So it's like playing something by ear, like not knowing the notes to play, not needing music in front of you, but being able to play it on the piano just by your ear. Something about that is significant for you guys. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I feel like you're able to kind of just, it's of course your intuition, but it's like you're able to kind of pick up on things and know what to do without needing to have a lot of instructions or guidance. Okay? No guidance. Drake. I just know the name of the song. I know the song. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, it's like you guys don't need a whole lot of instructions or teaching or coaching. You kind of just go with what the tone of a situation is, or what the tone of what you need to do is, and then you kind of run with it. So I think that's a talent that you guys may, want to observe more within yourself and acknowledge more within yourself, because like it's beneficial for your confidence. And a lot of times, like for example, anything that I do, even with tarot, I learned it by ear, quote unquote, so to speak. Nobody taught me how to read tarot cards. I watched a few videos. I definitely credit learning the techniques of reading tarot from watching other tarot readers. And I did Mystic Rain, this girl who makes videos on YouTube. Well, she's a grown ass woman, but Mystic Rain is the first person who I actually watched like a tarot tutorial from. And I don't know what guided me to her, but she's pretty cool. And she talks about a lot of positive things, in my opinion. And then also a lot of you guys watch Minopon Tarot, which Chris Reck, I talk about him every now and then. And I did purchase his tarot course. But that was after I had been reading tarot for a while. But mostly when I do anything like tarot or like editing videos, things like that, even when it comes to things around my house, I can watch a few videos here and there, but then as I maneuver through whatever I'm doing, I kind of pick up on what I need to do intuitively or on my own. So there may be a situation where you guys may feel unprepared, but you're not. There may be a situation where you guys feel like you need to learn more or study for something more, but I think you got it. I think you got it. I really, what I feel like you should do is kind of use that ability to play it by ear to your advantage. So I don't know if y'all are taking a test, an exam, something like that, but I don't think you really need a whole lot more information. I think you just need to actually like put your hands on something and do it. Okay? Or get the things that you need and just, be more tactile with it, hands-on learning. I'm not sure why I had to tell you guys that, but that's what it is. And for those of you who are like, click off, you need to get to the reading. Bye. Adios. Sayonara. Sayonara. Okay, see you later. Let's get into it for Pisces, guardian angels. We're just going to see what you need to know, Pisces. Archangel, spirit. Spirit guides and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God. So your guardian angel right now is Archangel Ariel, because she made herself appear. And this is the sacral chakra, second chakra. Definitely creativity, passion, all of those beautiful things. Then door to values at the bottom. I know that's right. Ooh, and blossoming abundance, you guys. So the door to value is open to you. You could be walking through the door to value. The door to value could be opening before your eyes. And I feel like you're very inspired, which is creating a lot of abundance. Like whatever you're doing right now is sprouting. Okay. And you have to excuse me because it's just a lot with these allergies and the fact that I was sick. I don't know if it's me still being a little sick or if it's allergy. I don't know. So sorry, but I'm human. New beginnings in finance or career. This card shows a door with a golden coin on it, opening to a place that's filled with light and bright potential. Money, coins, and jewels fly towards you through the open door, revealing a golden city beyond. Okay. Basically, this card is saying anything of value is open to you now. Remain conscious and creative and get ready to step through the door. Okay. New beginnings, expansion, where money and work are concerned. A new opportunity could be unexpected, or it could be something that you've been working towards for a while. Okay. Keep your eyes open for new beginnings. That's what they're saying. And it's conscious and creative energy that you need to remain in, the vibration of consciousness and creation. Now, creation is definitely involved when it comes to this second chakra card. Oh my God. And it wasn't even this bad until I turned on the camera. Hold on. Jesus Christ. All right. We'll see, child. We'll see. I just did a little nasal spray for my allergies, so that's where we are. But the intimacy and creativity card says the second chakra vibrates in the energy of the beautiful angel Ariel. She sends bright orange energy, promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative and let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects that may have more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affection and camaraderie of the resonant souls around you. Right. And I think I did a video recently about how, like, there was a tower moment that you need to be prepared for. Because something unexpected could definitely happen. And it could happen, like, something unexpected could happen in an unexpected way. Right. So you may not expect to get support from people. You may not expect to get help from people. You may not expect to get recognition or whatever. But that's what's going to happen. And that's what's unexpected. And then blossoming abundance is talking about just things opening up and, like, reaping the rewards of your harvest. That type of energy. Let's see. It talks about increasing wealth and value. Yeah, so the door to value is open. And then the value is increasing because the abundance is blossoming. This card shows a beautiful golden garden in the springtime with coins and new flowers blossoming all around. They even hang like fruit on the tree above. Upright, this card signals a new increase in wealth, possibly in dramatic and unexpected ways. Be aware that you sow the seeds of your own wealth and prosperity. Much like a gardener works the ground and begins to see blooming results take hold. This card upright indicates that the universe is blessing you and helping the fruits of your labor to blossom. So smell the flowers and tend to the new growth. Be grateful and enjoy. So, yeah. I feel like you guys are taking an opportunity. You're taking a new opportunity, or you, like, keep your eyes open for new opportunities. That's what you could be doing right now. Like, what can you start? What can you get into? Like, a lot of people, because of what's going on right now in governments all over the world, people are starting to be more resourceful, more self-sufficient. People are planting gardens. So you could actually be planting a garden. Some of you guys could be maybe starting some type of creative project when it comes to seamstress work or knitting or crocheting. I'm getting that too. Like, I feel like this is about ways. Oh, excuse me. This is about ways that you're discovering, investigating, researching to enrich your life. Like, this could even be something, for example, I know they probably irritated with me, but I told my sons, I want y'all to either watch videos on hunting, fishing, or gardening. And then today by 2:00, which is 12:53, and it's Saturday, April 19th, by 2:00, I want y'all to have a 5-paragraph essay written about what you learned, why it's valuable, and how you can utilize it in your life. Because at the end of the day, if things go down the way that they look like they're going down, you might need your ass to get your ass out there and fish or hunt. We might have to be eating squirrels. You never know. Because there's a lot going on. So it's not so much like fear mongering. It's more so like, hey, I think a lot of you guys are seeing the value in certain hobbies, abilities, gifts, things like that. And you are more than likely utilizing that or attempting to find a way to utilize that in your own life and become more proficient so that you can become more self-sufficient. Okay. And I feel like it's going to be very inspiring for you guys to get into new hobbies and projects, to tap into your creativity, because you may be able, like, just for example, if you're planting a garden, you might have the ability to curate or cultivate new techniques with certain plants that you plant. And when your first harvest comes in and you see, oh, I accidentally put some, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I accidentally spilled some orange juice in, this tomato plant, and it made the tomatoes be more sweet and, I don't know, juicy, whatever. I don't know. It could be something like that. Like, you're going to discover your ability to do something by ear, or to like feel what needs to be done, even if the facts or the instructions say to do something a certain way. It's like you're putting your own unique spin on what you're doing, and it's making it better. It's making it more fruitful in some way, shape, or form. Okay, what else does Pisces need to know, child? What else does Pisces need to know at this time? Sad man. Why is man always sad? Surprise. Did I sound very surprised? Surprise. Gossip, child. So there could be somebody who's gossiping about this man because he's sad. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like somebody is gossiping about a man, talking about how he's sad, and you may find out about it. What else does Pisces need to know? Birthday, fate, solitude. Yeah. It may be meant for someone to be alone on their birthday, or that's how they feel. What else does Pisces need to know? Ruin in reverse. So something is not being ruined. It's being salvaged or maintained. Okay. Pet. Engagement. Okay. One more card. What does Pisces need to know? Oh my Lord. Bereavement and surprise came out again. Okay. Bad habits. Engagement. So there's definitely communication going on here with the engagement card, and something could definitely be shocking with this surprise. Somebody could be getting a surprise on their birthday. It could be involving a birthday where the surprise is concerned, but it just feels like, bad habits. There's a conversation going on here because we saw the gossip card. There's a conversation going on here about someone possibly passing away with bereavement. Or someone being able to prevent I don't know, this could be somebody preventing a death, but this could also be someone like getting healthy or trying to like fix some type of bad habits that they have. This could be a person who is being able to salvage or save a situation. There's a situation here that's being salvaged or saved from a loss. I feel like someone here is sad on their birthday because they're alone, but also it's like they're focusing on bless me, thank you, they're focusing on like the bad habits that have caused them to be in the position that they're in. It's a very reflective energy. I'm not sure what this exactly has to do with you, Pisces, but it feels like this man is sad because he's alone on his birthday. and thinking about like, okay, so this is what I'm getting. There could be gossip or communication going on, talks, people are whispering about this sad man. And you may find out about this, but I feel like energetically, there is a masculine energy who is reflecting upon their life, right? And it could be because they're a year older. It's their birthday, right? And they're thinking about their fate. Like they're thinking about what's happened over. When you talk about fate, it's like, what is my fate? What is my destiny? What does my life mean? So that's what the reflection is about. And I feel like in this reflective state, this man is feeling sad because he's experienced a lot of loss due to bad habits. Habits that have ruined relationships, possible engagements, marriages, friendships. It's ruined some type of communication with the people that are around him. And I don't know what's prompting this. I don't know if a death of someone close to this person is prompting this, or a birthday is prompting this. Sometimes maybe, with birthday and bereavement, it could mean someone is reflecting on, Jesus Christ. It could mean that someone is reflecting on their mortality. And this person may have never thought that they would get old. They may have never thought that this point in their life would come. It kind of feels like somebody's having a midlife crisis. And it's like whoever this masculine energy is reflecting upon their mortality and all the bad habits that they have when it comes to either their own personal choices or the ways that they push people away. And it could be very surprising because this person may come and try to salvage something that's ended between you and them because you're one of the people who they feel they ruined things with. Oh, look, I knew we were going to see it. What else is this? What is this message here that Pisces is getting? Despair. Oh my God. Head in the hands. Yeah, because somebody's left out. So this could even be somebody, a man or masculine energy who is left out of a birthday celebration for someone else. Okay. It's past your season, Pisces, but this could have happened in the past. It's kind of giving like Kanye vibes. She won't let me go to my daughter's birthday. Adjudication and message. Yeah, a decision has been made by an outside authority that dictates that someone can't be included in some type of celebration. And it's giving this masculine energy a sign or synchronicity that tells them that they need to fix these poor relationships. Like it could even be a grown person, like your parent, your father. It feels like that, like I feel like this could be in the past. I think some of you have a father figure who was not very supportive, delinquent, in fact, who ruined a relationship with you, ruined a relationship with your mother. And you could be surprised at this person's passing if you don't talk to them. But I feel like they're thinking about all the things that they ruined with you and other people because of their bad habits. And they want to fix that before they die. That's what this feels like. This could even be like child support. Like a judge says that custody goes to one of the parents over the other. And this man or this masculine is feeling like, hey, that's me being left out, right? And there's a message here with this message card. like an unread message. Like you may have left this person on red. You're not responding. Like I've missed so many birthdays. I've missed so many holidays. That's the type of vibe that I'm getting from this person. What else for Pisces? Bad health. Ooh. Yeah. Y'all Pisces. Some of y'all have a father, an ex-husband, a brother, an uncle. Someone here who feels that they're coming towards the end of their life. Change and great fortune. They could be moving into a nursing home or an assisted living facility. Some of y'all, this person could even have to go to hospice. But they're moving or relocating. And they can't take a lot of stuff with them. They have to either downsize or downgrade to a smaller space. Or they're going somewhere where they can't like physically transport all of their things, like maybe overseas or back home somewhere. I just heard back home. And if it is love, why I keep coming back. That song Trey Songz did with Summer Walker. And then we have great fortune. Yeah. There's something about this person feeling really lucky. One more card. What is this? For Pisces? Distant horizons. Yeah. So it definitely feels like someone could pass unexpectedly. Or that's what happened. It also feels like this person is daydreaming, thinking, meditating, reflecting on their mortality and all the things that they missed out on in life because they chose their bad habits over making better decisions, right? Mature woman, main male, and community. This is like a mother-son with the mature woman and the main male. Community. And distant horizons. I don't know if this mature woman is alive or dead. I don't know why that's coming up. It's probably because of the community card, because in this card, sometimes the people who are back there kind of like grayed out. They're not alive. Like some... Hold on. Okay. I'm just making sure. Some of them are like considered to be like ghosts, I guess you could say, in the background. So it feels like a man who is contemplating his mortality is thinking about all the people who are alive and dead who they did not really show up for properly. So yeah, I don't know exactly who this is, but that's interesting. There's going to be some conversations about this person possibly passing, or about the circumstances of them moving or relocating. Somebody's definitely moving or relocating, or you might have to travel because this person has passed away. I'm sorry about this message if this is something that hasn't happened yet. I don't know if I'm predicting it though. To be honest with you, I don't know. For some of you guys, this may have already happened in the past. Yeah, for some, that Two of Pentacles. For some of you guys, this already happened, and it's just a message to consolidate or confirm something. For some of you, this may be a prediction, though. Two of Pentacles. Yeah. But the energy is positive. It's not a negative reading, even though some of the details might be negative. This could be a situation that is happening to you, but it could be something that you could transmute to happen for you, right? Like, you can use this dynamic or whatever this is as like inspiration to create something that could bring you a lot of value. Okay, not exactly sure how, but that's why you got to figure that out. Okay, why is Pisces getting this message? Why is Pisces getting this message? 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands. That's 8 Wands. A decision, some type of victory or success and a decision. Successful communication as well. A decision to communicate about something or talk about something could bring a lot of success. Okay. I just feel kind of heavy. Like I have a pain in my back. I did yoga this morning too, but my back feels really stiff. Fuck. The Devil and the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like you're really attached to a decision or you're really close to a problem. So it makes it difficult for you to make a good decision in some way, shape, or form. It's like you're getting this message because you're going to feel very invested or attached to the outcome. And you may be confused about what's the right decision to make. I don't know if some of you guys are in charge of like someone's hospice care, you know, cutting off someone's life support. I don't know what the fuck, but that's kind of what it feels like. I also feel like some of you have a lot of success coming towards you in your life. You're connected to something or someone, or you're attached to something or someone. We saw the Great Fortune card. You're connected to something or someone or attached to something or someone that is going to bring you great fortune, but it comes with a loss. And I'm just say this. It kind of feels like the whole, you know, the whole industry sacrifice thing. Okay. Like when sometimes people think that someone, you know, in that position is doing those things and that's how they ended up getting famous. But I look back on it, right? Like when my mom passed, we went from living in a 1-bedroom apartment to living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And the 2-bedroom apartment was good. It was cool, but it was still not the best situation. Like I had to take public transportation to get to school. A good school was really far away. You know, like I couldn't come straight home from school. I had to be at the YMCA. And that was crazy because the YMCA had grown folks walking around all the time, walking past the kids' rooms. This was back in the 90s, early 2000s, guys, okay? We were literally in a room, and you would come into the Y, and it was only members who could come in there. But you would come into the Y, there would be a front desk. To the right, there was a long hallway you would walk down behind the front desk. But to the right of that, on the other side of the hallway, was closed doors where the little kids were, right? Little kids. Like, kindergarten and under was in that room, that area. First grade might have been in there. But then for the older kids, you walk to the left behind the desk and there's a long hallway. And then you go to the left again once you get to the end of the hallway and there's another long hallway. So when you first walk behind the desk to the right, you see exercise like equipment, like a gym. Right? To the left are the offices, whatever's behind the desk, because you're in this hallway and like people's offices, supply closets, things like that. Once you get to the end of the hallway, there was like an emergency exit door to the outside where our coat closet was. They did upgrades and renovations, but our coat closet was back there at the end of the hallway, and there was literally a door to the outside. It was always locked, and it was locked from the inside, like with a key, so you couldn't just turn the lock and open it. But it was locked, but it was see-through, like people on the street could see into that door. And I think one time somebody walked up to the door from outside, and it was real creepy. But I digress. Our coat closet was in there, and that coat closet was closed off by a door, but this was all at the end of the hallway. Also in this little corridor at the end of the hallway, once you pass the exercise rooms, was these vending machines. And it was like this open space. It was like just a corridor area. It was seats, vending machines, and the entrance to the gym. And the gym was huge, and it was in the middle, right across from the rooms that the older kids were in. So you come down the hall behind the desk, past the exercise equipment, you get to the coat closet, there's the corridor, you turn to the left down that corridor, and there's another hallway. And on one side you have the gym, on the other side you have the older kids. And towards the end of that hallway is the pool and the locker rooms for men and women, which each locker room, the boys' locker room went up and the girls' locker room went down. And each locker room had an entrance either to the gym or to the pool. So you can go in the locker rooms, you can shower, you can get dressed, you can do all of those things. And then you either would go to the pool or you would go to the gym. Before you go into the locker rooms, though, you can actually walk to the pool in the little seating area that they have for people who weren't swimming, but just could like watch their kids practice or whatever. And next to that, before you go through that door and sit down, there was bathrooms. But it would be so weird because like people could walk past the gym, like they could walk down that hallway that had the gym on one side and the kids on the other, and like literally see us through the see-through glass. And it was weird because we would be in there playing after school, listening to music, dancing, and it would be just random like members of the YMCA walking past at any given time. And it was kind of strange, but that's just how it was. And the reason why I said that is because like that was my reality. Majority of the time I spent at the YMCA, I was in morning care, I was in aftercare, I was in fucking summer camp because my mom had to work all the time. She was a single mom. So while it's hurtful and sad that she passed away, I actually got an upgrade in my life by her passing happening and being able to move to Georgia with my uncle, her brother, and his wife, and living in a much more spacious house, having a yard, being able to ride the school bus, being able to come home from school every day, having access to, you know, maybe not the best education, because I feel like the education up north is better than what's down south. I digress. But I had access to more resources at that point in time. I didn't have to be in those environments. And because of the fact that the older kids kind of like aged out of the YMCA, but they didn't want to just abandon us, we went to that church that I told a lot of you guys about and had a story time about on TikTok, where I ended up getting followed home and I almost got like, you know, victimized. I don't know what that man was going to do, but he sure did follow me home and chase me through the alley. You know what I mean? So I experienced a lot as a young kid that shaped the way I see the world because nobody really cared. I saw people care. It's not that when I say nobody cared, that's not actually what I mean. People cared, but I noticed that there wasn't as much love and support from people towards those members of the community. Okay, like we saw that community card. There wasn't as much love and support towards members of the community who kind of craved it and needed it as much as there should have been. And the people who did it were always stretched thin because they were the only ones doing it. So when you talk about people in certain industries who end up getting, accused of certain practices in order to gain fame or success. Sometimes I look at it differently, because sometimes, yes, there are concerted efforts and calculated maneuvers that people make to remove people and get people out of the way. But there are also times where I think sometimes energetically, psychically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, universally, things just happen that are kind of fucked up, but that were always meant to happen in order to continue the process of reality and time in the way that it needs to go for things to be done. Like, this is a tapestry of the most immaculate, detailed nature. That's what the universe is. It's the mythology, Norse mythology and things like that about the weavers of time. And it's so intricate that I don't even want to know how much detail goes into it, because I feel like it would break my brain. And what I'm saying in this long story is that that's why the devil is here, honey. That's what the devil is. The devil is not just some scary booger wolf, face ass ninja who wants to come around and shed funky fur all around your energy and mess things up in your life. It's those it's those ideas that I kind of just discussed. It's things like those ideas that the devil encompasses. When bad things happen and the whole state of California burns down and people lose their lives, the devil is seeing the reason for it being necessary, right? And that's what people end up being scared of. It's like whatever's in that, whatever in the traditional tarot, whatever's in that little black box that the devil is sitting on. Some about Saturn too, I think. I don't know, child. It's something that has to be locked away like Pandora's box, because if it was released, it would be too difficult for people to understand. Like, people think I'm crazy when I say the planes crashing and the California wildfires burning isn't a bad thing, or that Trump being elected isn't a bad thing. But that's because sometimes people's brains are small. That's why I said, if you picking it up, bitch, put the brain in the comments. If you picking up what I'm throwing down, my guy, put the brain in the comments. And I think that's what you need to know. And I'm sorry it took me so long to say it, but like, it is what it is. I'm not going to apologize. I'm sorry, not sorry. Somebody might die. And after they die, you're going to become very successful. You might have to pull the plug on somebody, but then you feel released and relieved. What's the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Wands? High Priestess. 4 of Cups. Yeah. It's like you're disappointed or upset about a decision that you have to make, but when you make it, it's going to bring you a lot of success, or it's going to help you move forward quickly. You're talking about this to someone. I don't know who. High Priestess. I feel like this is something that's going to happen in the future. It's a prediction. 7 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Your intuition could feel blocked. You could feel like your intuition is blocked, but you have a lot of options. You have a lot of paths that you can take when it comes to how to handle a situation. Okay. You're trying to figure out what's the right door to open. What's the right door to kind of like walk through. I feel like you may not have been clear on what you need to do at a certain point or another, but it's starting to become more clear what you need to do. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of disheartening. It's kind of disappointing. It's kind of like being at the party but not feeling happy. This could even be a situation where some of you guys, I don't know. It's like some of you guys have to make a tough decision about something because you're not enjoying what it is that you're doing, or you're not like having a good time. You could be the only one sad at the party. You could be around a group of people and feel alone. Like there could be a heaviness when it comes to you interacting with others because your mind is like in the clouds. But I don't think it's because you're being delusional. It kind of feels like if you were a teenager and your mom forced you to go to your little brother or your little sister's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. You don't fucking want to be there. Like, that's what it feels like. But that's why you're getting this message, is because you have to make a choice. And your intuition is telling you the choice that you have to make, but there's something about it that's making you feel disappointed that you have to make that choice, but you know it's the right decision that's going to lead you to some type of success, or that will take you to the next level. What should Pisces do in this situation? What are they supposed to be doing? Did my camera go in and out? Wheel of Fortune. That little snake that chases its tail. Yeah, this is something about destiny or something that has to do with fate, what's meant to be. Like, you have free will, but I also think that there's certain things that you just can't change. Like, whenever you see time travel shows, like when Prue in Charmed went back to see her parents, and she found out the only reason why she survived the crash and not them was because she orbed out of the car. But then realizing that she couldn't save them even if she tried, and that it wasn't her fault that they got into an accident, like all those types of things. And then like Outlander with the whole time travel thing and like trying to stop colliding, but being able to help little things change, but not being able to help those big, really monumental situations from changing the course of what they're already going to be meant to be. There's just certain things that are going to be meant to be. There's certain things that are going to just happen, and there's nothing you can do to really like change it. I think that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to accept that and then make the decision based off the knowing of that. You have to make a decision based off knowing that, you know, there's only so much you can do and there's only so much you can change. Some of you may feel the weight with this high priestess. You may feel the weight of like being psychic. You feel the weight of psychicness on your shoulders. Like Claire in the show felt the weight of knowing that everybody was going to die at Culloden and she couldn't do anything about it. And she wanted to save as many people as she could, but she knew she couldn't save everyone. Kind of like that type of energy. And oftentimes it's it's the people who are closest to us, or it's the people who we kind of value the most, or the people who have the biggest influence in our lives that we can't save. Three of Pentacles and the Tower. Wow. Yeah. You're working on something, and I feel like you're going to be doing a presentation or something. You may be doing a presentation or displaying some of your work. People are observing you display your work, or people are observing your process. You're getting recognition. People are interested in what it is that you do. But then there's this Tower energy. What's the Wheel of Fortune? What is the Wheel of Fortune? Oh my gosh. Three of Pentacles came out. Nine of Cups. Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's something that you're creating that is leading you to success. or a victory. And because you're happy about it, or you're very inspired by it, or this is like something that makes you feel fulfilled, your work is of higher quality. And it also has to do with displaying and showcasing the knowledge that you have acquired, what you know. I feel like a lot of you want to create honest work, and I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to do. I feel like with the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords with this Three of Pentacles, I feel like they want you to create work that can stand the test of time. Build things of quality, build things of worth. Because that Tower card, it just makes me feel like there's going to be a lot of destruction on an energetic level, on a physical level, whatever. And whatever you're building or working on right now needs to be built on a stable foundation, because as time progresses, it's going to be very significant what you do now, right? Like the people who built these cathedrals and these Moorish towers and all these different architectural structures that we still revel in today, right? People have tried to plagiarize them. People have tried to fabricate the truth of where they originate from and who built them. But at the end of the day, the truth is always revealed and the lies are always dispelled. And there's something, what you need to do is to create that type of energy in your work. What's the Wheel of Fortune? One more card for the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Yeah, it's like anything that's being destroyed right now is being destroyed because it wasn't of that same caliber or quality. It would not have stood the test of time. Not necessarily because of, it's not necessarily because that's indicative of like your abilities, but it could be something that you were using your abilities for that wasn't actually what you were meant to use your abilities for. Kind of like what I was talking about with the garden, like being able to pick up on things. Like I was good at flipping burgers at McDonald's. I never actually flipped the burgers. Let me stop lying, but I did flip them onto the bun. I was good at doing that. I was good at being a line person at McDonald's and, you know, packaging up the burgers. But does that mean I'm supposed to be packaging up burgers for the rest of my life? Hell the fuck no. Ten of Wands at the bottom. And the Temperance card. Yeah, this is about endings. 10 signify like something coming to an end or completion. You've accomplished one thing successfully. You've done one thing. It's something about time because there's a clock here and there's a clock here. And then the Wheel of Fortune is indicative of time. So it's like something about like putting time and energy into something, possibly wasting time or energy on something. Yeah. And the Temperance card is time. I feel like a burden that you have or something that's very difficult for you to do, something that you've been doing by yourself for a long time, something that takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy and a lot of work and a lot of time is coming to an end really quickly. Sun. You're going to be happy about it. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever this message is, you're going to be happy about it. Or you're going to feel at peace. You're going to feel healed. You're going to feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. You're going to feel very light. Some of y'all may be doing acupuncture. Or you need to. But there's something about that whole like very heavy, draining energy. And I feel like it's being removed from your space. And it's like Spirit, what they want you to do is to be happy about this quick ending, to be happy about how something is going to turn around quickly, to be grateful for it. Like, even if you've been working on something for a long time and it's been taking it forever and you feel like it's dragging, but then all of a sudden it starts to work and take off, be happy about that, because it means that your work, it has not been in vain. Even if there's something that has taken a lot of your time and energy and effort and you've invested a lot into it, but it leads you into something else, still be grateful for that. Don't feel like you wasted your time doing whatever you were doing before, because it's never a waste. It's always a brick that's being used to build the firm foundation that you need to actually have a tower that won't fall. And I think that's what Spirit wants you to focus on. And even as things start to pop off, right? They still want you to focus on creating quality work. Death and the Five of Wands. Yeah. There's some type of change or transformation or literal passing of someone that's going to create a lot of conflict. That's kind of like your advice. Anything hidden that Pisces needs to know? One card, please. Eight of Pentacles. So a job is hidden right now. You need to know that you're going to get some type of recognition for your work, or you're going to be working on something that you don't know you're going to be working on right now. Ooh, Eight of Cups in August. Around Virgo season. Possibly Leo, but it feels more like Virgo. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. So you're going to be possibly moving or relocating for work in August. At the end of August. Because you're going to be offered an opportunity. You may be living on the road, or like in some type of transitional housing or transitional living. That could be the Change card. I think this is a reading about your perspective, because you don't know that you're going to be offered a job. What's this Eight of Pentacles? Page of Swords. Yeah, if you're looking for work, you're going to find a job, but you may have to relocate or move. You may have to downsize. The Distant Horizons card, we saw the Change card. Yeah, and then the Despair card, not hiring. Some of you are being given a job, or like the universe, Spirit, God is creating an opportunity to take you out of like a bad neighborhood, a bad community, a bad environment. And you're moving to a place where the air quality is better, the environment is cleaner. Like, you could be moving. And we saw the page, oh my God, Eight of Cups again. And we saw the Page of Pentacles last time, which was like this little kid in the forest with a tire swing. So you could definitely be moving to a more like rural area. But you're leaving something behind for sure. And you're wondering like why it's happening. As you're walking away, you're like thinking about why everything is happening the way it's happening, asking questions, really in your head about it, trying to find courage to walk away or to move on, move forward, and see the potential in the opportunity that you have. Like, I feel like you're really trying to have a positive outlook about it. What's the possible outcome? Like, some of you realize that you have to make certain decisions to be successful, but it's hard to make those decisions, whatever they are. Some of you it has to do with family. Some of you it has to do with like putting your parents in a nursing home, selling a house. Like, I don't know, but that's what it feels like. What's the possible outcome for Pisces? Three of Cups. It's like such a weird energy, because the reading doesn't feel bad, like, at all. It just feels very surreal. It feels like I'm in the Twilight Zone. It feels extremely like surreal. It doesn't feel real. It feels very Seven of Cups. Like, did this really happen? But there's gonna be some type of celebration for sure. Page of Cups. You're definitely gonna be networking, meeting new people, being introduced to people. You may have to go to a lot of parties, things like that. I think some of you guys are thinking about whether or not you actually want the life that you're working towards. Like, do you actually want to live that life? Just say you aspire to be famous, but being famous means that you have to go to meaningless award shows and you have to interview with people and talk to people on red carpets and, you know, on TV shows and podcasts and like, is that really the life that you want? I think some of you guys are questioning that because it feels like Page of Cups, Three of Cups, that's 4 cups. And then it's like your intuition, you see clearly. This could be a reason why you may be self-sabotaging. 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Do you see what I'm saying? 4 of Cups, 8 of Wands. 4 of Cups, 8 of Wands. Oh my God. And it's like you kind of have this vision of what you know is going to come, but it's like a shallow existence. Like, this girl is at the party and she doesn't want to be there because it's not really her scene. It's not really her vibe. People could be drunk, smoking, doing substances, be fake and phony. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's some type of allure about this because it's behind a curtain. But I think you already know what you're going to get. And I don't know if you're going to be satisfied with it. That could be your perspective of it from what you see. I don't know if it's actually going to be bad the way you think it will. I don't know exactly what this is. Some of you may have tried to do a particular job or business or something, but you're realizing that that may not be what it is that you actually want. And you're going back to doing something that may not be as glamorous, but it's peaceful, right? Or you may be overcoming your fear of reaching your full potential and understanding what could possibly like go along with that. But I feel like you have a vision of where you want to end up and where you want to go. And that's why things are moving forward. Kind of like how I was talking about people in certain industries, and on the outside looking in, a lot of the general public thinks that everybody is like, you know, sacrificing their people to get famous. But that's the devil card, and all of that I explained about the devil card. So this could be a situation where you may have been self-sabotaging your success because you had these obscured or like distorted images of what becoming successful or what reaching your full potential would look like. And that's not actually what it would look like. It's depending on what you make it look like. 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. It depends on what you want and how you want to make decisions. So I think some of you who have been feeling held back from like what you grew up believing to be true, it's changing now because you're like, that's not a reason. You know, you may have grown up in certain, like I was reading comments from one of the videos I posted on the other channel. Y'all go subscribe. If you still here, go subscribe to Casey Nicole Speaks. Watch a few videos, like the videos, leave a comment. I would really appreciate it, you guys. But this one commenter said, like, when I was talking about the Black community and the poverty mindset that's like basically been ingrained within the Black community. I'm not going to assume gender, but this commenter said they're not Black, but they understand what I'm saying because they grew up Catholic, and there was a mindset of being very humble, and I can't remember the words they used, but basically humble and appreciative of basically scraps, because that's what being faithful to God is, you know, not questioning if you're poor and all these things. And then they said, like, I'm a certain age now and I've been poor almost the majority of my life. And then they basically reflected on the fact that those types of mentalities are what shapes entire cultures into believing that they deserve a certain thing. So this could definitely be you escaping or evolving or outgrowing whatever belief systems that you were kind of like raised on. Distant horizons, kind of like evolving from that and choosing to repair what you may have ruined through self-sabotage, thinking that those beliefs were true. And that's what's causing you to propel forward towards like what you actually want, your wish fulfillment. What's the Three of Cups for the possible outcome? The World. That's what it is. It's like ending that cycle of like feeling like you have to work so hard, 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and then it never pays off. You never get the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Like believing that you just have to always suffer. I don't fucking have to suffer all the time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be suffering all the time. That's just the way it is. So, or like believing that you suffer in life forever and then in death you get to be free. Like, no. The Emperor is at the bottom and the Eight of Swords. Yeah. Something controlling your mind. Some type of manipulative energy or very calculated. They don't have to be manipulative, but being calculated is a way of being manipulated. Okay. Or manipulative. Cunning, sly, sneaky. And I feel like this Emperor energy was controlling your thoughts with the Eight of Swords. They were controlling your mind or your emotions. There was some secret authority controlling you. And I don't even know if it's a real person. It could be a phantom. It could be a collection of so many different beliefs that have accumulated into this phantom controlling force within your mind or your emotions or your thoughts that you're now cutting the cord from. What's the Three of Cups? One more card. Five of Cups. And that's that loss. The bereavement. This could be you like realizing how much time you've lost because of this. Knight of Pentacles, yeah. Wasted time. Or like you were living in slow motion. Ace of Cups. And I said that at the beginning, like you don't need any more lessons. You don't need any more courses. You don't need to learn anything else. You already know everything you need to know. Now it's time for you to set out on the journey. You've learned everything that you need to know from the past. You learned everything that you need to know from maybe the dead. I don't know, child. But you have everything you need to set out on your journey. You're fully equipped and prepared. But I feel like there could be some sadness when it comes to how you feel. Because you're remembering like, maybe you're grieving the way your life used to be. There's going to come some time. What this is saying to me, though, is that you're reaching a point where you have some type of success and you're going to feel that disconnection from your past. And it's going to cause you to feel like you are grieving what your life used to be like just because it's familiar, though. It's not because you liked it necessarily. I just think it was because it was familiar. And some of you guys made a decision to be successful because you were tired of like the Chuck E. Cheese party. You were over it, okay? Pisces is out here. Possibly Aquarius, Scorpio. I was about to say Scorpius. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. Maybe Aries, Sagittarius. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. Anything else that Pisces needs to know? Seeing through the fog. Like I said, this feels like a surreal reading. Caught up. Desires. Okay, someone's actions is catching up to them. Maybe that's making you confused. Someone is desiring you, but their actions are catching up to them. Some of you may be having situations where your actions are catching up to you. And like how you lived your life is catching up to you. And you may be confused because you may be questioning why you even did those things or made those choices in the first place. Because it wasn't really what you wanted. I feel like this could also be a situation where someone who was putting you in a really, because look, what we started talking about was this weird energy with this masculine who was regretting like all the things that they ruined in people's lives or all the relationships that they ruined over time. There could be a situation where someone around you has actions that are catching up to them. And now you're seeing them experience this, or again, the gossip is going around and you're hearing about somebody kind of like suffering and you may not know how to feel, because I think a lot of you guys think that you want to see someone get their karma, but you really don't. And some of you idiots are going to be like, oh, yes, I do. Shut the fuck up. You sound dumb. Because then the shoe is going to be on the other foot and you're going to be looking stupid. I said what I said. But for those of you who have some good God-given sense and you're not a fucking idiot, a lot of you are, you think you may feel one way or another. Like, for example, if your dad was fucked up towards you, not in a way that's like extremely traumatic and detrimental, but like just say you had a delinquent dad who was, left your mom a single mom and never really had his shit together. He was always kind of like a failure in life. And then he dies, right? He never really gave you anything. He never really made you feel secure or safe. He never really like taught you anything that you need to know other than what not to do. But when he's in a position maybe on his deathbed, God forbid, I don't want to speak this on any of you, but I'm going to use the example. If he's on his deathbed and he's talking to you about all the mistakes he feels like he made, or you don't even talk to him before he passes, and then he passes. That's the actions catching up to that person, and you're going to be confused and feel like, well, damn, you're going to reevaluate what you really want in life because you're getting something that you thought you wanted, or you're getting something that you thought you would be happy to see, or thought would make you feel relieved, or thought would lift a weight from your shoulders. But the result isn't that. And you're going to start questioning everything in your life. Like when I found out my aunt passed, right? I wasn't really close with my aunt. I remember being a kid and she would come to Chicago and like say that she was going to come visit us. And my mom used to clean up the house. We would clean all day long, waiting for my aunt to come visit. And then we would get a phone call at like 9:00 at night with her saying that she got caught up with her friends and she never showed up. So I always felt like an afterthought, like to a lot of my family members. I always felt like they never really wanted to get to know me. They didn't really care whether or not I knew them or not. And that there was some type of tension between them and my mom. That's what I sensed as a child, right? But I would talk to my aunt on the phone periodically. We've definitely met. And instead of them coming to our house, they would end up saying, well, why don't you come to Mama Payne's house and we'll just meet up there? And my mom would be irritated because she would have to drive all the way from one side of town to the other with me. And it would be more inconvenient for her than it would be for them. But we did it. And then I would have my aunt's jewelry would always be very earthy and eclectic. And she was like kind of that spiritual, person that I got a taste of like the spiritual vibe through her, and like she converted to being a Muslim. She changed her name. And it was interesting. And as I grew up, I talked to her on the phone, every now and then. And like every time I saw her, it was always a very like loving energy, and she just felt very wise. And as an adult, like I couldn't really be mad about like the way it was in my childhood, because I didn't know the dynamics. And she always gave me the vibe of like being a wandering spirit. So what I thought, which explains what I'm saying, what I thought was that, I knew she had dementia. My grandmother had dementia and like basically Alzheimer's. And I knew my aunt had developed dementia and she was not doing well. But like I haven't talked to her in years because of that. Just dealing with people who have dementia or Alzheimer's is very exhausting, right? My actual aunt down here that is by marriage also has situations with that. And it's kind of, depending on the level the person is at, it's kind of exhausting. Like when I used to talk to my grandmother after I moved from Chicago, like years later, she never thought that I was any older than like 8 or 9. And it was hard as a kid, like as a teenager, because she would ask me about my mom. Even though she knew my mom was gone, like that she passed, she was still asking me about my mom like my mom was still alive. So that was hard for me. And I didn't think that I was going to be upset when my aunt passed, but I was. Like, upset. And I don't even think I've really like fully processed it. But it wasn't so much that she passed and we had this like great relationship and now I feel a void is missing in my life. It was more so like, now that she passed, for some reason, I don't know how to articulate it, but it kind of felt like that part of my childhood that I had where she was involved in it and she was a part of it, whether it was a positive or a challenging memory. It's like now that has been put to rest. Now it's kind of like if you look at if you look at a stage that's lit up and there's spotlights shining down on different memories in your childhood and parts of your life, and all the parts of your life have spotlights on it. But then the people who are involved in those parts of your life pass away and then that spotlight turns off. That's kind of how I felt. And that's what made me sad, because it made me reflect upon mortality and death and the fact that I never felt close to my family, and I don't feel like I have foundation because I don't know a lot about who I come from and where I come from. I know certain things, but like I don't have like that type of family that literally runs down all the details of everyone in the family, what happened to them, where we come from. And it's kind of just like that Kroger bag blowing in the wind type of feeling, not feeling like you belong anywhere. And as each person goes away, there's less and less opportunity to connect those dots and like figure it out. So that's kind of what I feel from your reading and like from this whole situation. It's like something is going to happen that you feel like you're going to react or respond a certain way, or you feel like it's going to make you feel a certain way. but you're actually going to get a different response, or you're actually going to have a different set of emotions that come with it. You may feel like something's not going to affect you, or like you're a steel trap and, you know, it's not going to get to you, but it is. And I personally believe sometimes, like, as Pisces, we can be so delusional of that. We can be so aware and in touch, but we can also be so unaware and completely toxically positive about things that we need to be more realistic about, or toxically negative about things that aren't that bad. And I think it's really healthy to keep those thoughts in check and to not be a fucking dunce when it comes to accepting and acknowledging and taking accountability for the fact that that can happen. So let me just get 2 more cards. Halloween in reverse, opposite of Halloween, catfish, apology. 1 more card, purify, apology again, cuffing season. So yeah, somebody is going to do something because their actions are catching up to them, or you're going to realize that someone's actions are catching up to them. And it's not going to elicit the response that you think it will. Like, there's all of this imagining and all of this fucking shit that goes into, like, reading cards and tarot online, especially. It's distorted. It's not real. People lie to you. And I think that you believe that something is going to make you feel a certain way, but it's actually not. And I think you need to prepare for that. Kind of like I said, expect the unexpected in an unexpected way. Okay? So, you know, I just feel like it would behoove you right now not to be a fucking bitch or an asshole, to get your head out of your ass or your coochie when it comes to situations happening around you and people going through things. Yeah, I went through that in 2020 and y'all motherfuckers didn't care. You know? And I know I rant and I rave and I go off about things, but like, there's a difference. I'm not just talking about me, but like in general. Sometimes there's situations where people are liars and they cheat and they steal and they deceive. But then they want you to have sympathy for them and do things for them and break your back. And they want to use you as the coat that they put over the puddle to not get wet. And when you have situations where those people continue to expect that, yeah, fuck them. But then it's like there's other situations where that empathy is more than just being empathic. It's about giving people grace. And I think that's what this is. I'm just going to leave it at that. Abundance is yours, Pisces. I'm really happy for all of you guys who are in a place where you can understand this reading. And I appreciate you for sticking by for so long, because I know it was long. But I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel, liking the videos, subscribing, booking your readings, supporting my other channels, and just being positive examples for yourself and other people in your life. And that's all I strive to be over here. So I hope that helped you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe to continue to catch the vibe, book your readings. And remember, this is our Circle Booze. Bye.